What's up, guys? Luca here. Luca Teal? Yes, the Ashen one, the Ashen Lucario, the Ashen Luca. It's me. I'm here for not an episode of Scumcast. We're doing a spoiler cast on Spider-Man No Way Home. So my boy Connor is here once again.
What up?
Soapbox Games. Go ahead.
What up? Soapbox Games at Twitter, YouTube channel. It's the same weekly upload. So, and I should be having something dropping tomorrow.
Sweet. So and then we also have Slow Mo Backslappy is here.
Oh, there must not be a space going on.
Good one. I'll let him get situated. So yeah, we are doing spoilers for Spider-Man No Way Home. Spoilerinos. That means we are spoiling the film. It's spoiled. It's in the title. I'm saying it now.
Everybody does.
If you do not want to be spoiled for Spider-Man No Way Home, do not watch this video until you watch Spider-Man No Way Home. That's the name of the movie, right?
Yeah.
So, but in the meantime, it's good to see you, Slow-Mo, yes?
Yeah, what's up?
All right. What's up, Pito? What's up, Red Hair Halo Jeff Gone Mad, Butch Luffy, Nathaniel? Happy holidays, guys. Happy holidays. So good to see you guys. All right, let me go ahead and tweet this out. All right, man. All right, so I think we're going to start with our scores for the movie.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
I'd give this a solid 7.5 out of 10.
All right, Slow-Mo.
Interesting. I give it a 9 out of 10.
All right. So let's go ahead and discuss our thoughts on it.
Okay.
So
who wants to go first?
Yeah, I think we should start with what we liked, and then we can talk about what we disliked and what they could have done better.
Right.
All right. So, okay. All right. I'm sorry, guys. I haven't done a spoiler cast in freaking years. All right. Let's talk about it, man.
Let's just generally talk about it. The Spider-Man shit in this movie's great. All three of them together is amazing. Mm-hmm. It's kind of everything that you would want it to be. What are they on screen for? What, 40, 30 minutes?
Something like that. Oh, shout out to Alex.
It's more than just a cameo.
Icon's looking very familiar there, brother. So what's good, man? What's up, Lionel? What up, Vil? What's up, Geekhead? Is it the best comic book movie ever? No. What's up, Raja?
Not that, no.
What is up all day?
What up?
But yeah, shout out Alex, become a member of the channel.
Shout out
to Alex.
Matter of fact, yeah, that icon is looking quite familiar, sir. Where's your other name at? What's going on? But yeah, man, it's good to see you here all day. We're gonna talk about. I want to hear your score for the movie. What's up, Tony?
Oh, right now?
Yes, your score.
9.5.
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about it. So, go ahead, Connor. Sorry.
No, like I was saying, when all three of them are on screen and you're finally, you're like, oh my God, the rumors are true, and you see it, it's amazing. And like I said, it's probably everything that you would want. I would say that's price of admission right there, almost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I enjoyed that as well. I enjoyed the fact that it's just not initially I thought it would be just a cameo of the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man and the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. They would just show up at the final battle randomly or something. I that's what I assumed from a Sony a Sony comic book movie. But no, it was way more in depth than that. They were like Connor said, they were in the movie for a good 40-45 minutes. I like the fact that they address things that were meta, kind of Andrew Garfield Spider-Man being the redheaded stepchild kind of deal. The fact that Tobey Spider-Man actually creates his own webs out of his body, and they were kind of freaked out about that. It was just any little thing that you have any Spider fanboy has ever
whatever
discussed.
Was on the forums back in the day.
Yes,
it was in the
movie. It was in the movie. It was they just scoured the forums, any kind of conversation between these characters. They made sure to have some form of that in the movie. I liked how they kind of resolved storylines that were left unsaid or unfinished with the previous iterations, and they also found a way to kind of help the villains kind of deal with their demons instead of just putting them away or killing them or whatever. Inadvertently killing them, of course, because Spider-Man doesn't kill. But I like that part about it. That was cool.
All right, all day. What are something from the movie that you enjoyed?
I enjoyed how every time I said how I tried to predict it, and I did, they like slapped me in the back of the head. Like, nah, we ain't doing it that way, Playboy. So every like inkling I had, like, they about to do this corny shit. Da da da. Nope, we go skirt. We doing this. Okay, all right. Okay, they shut me the fuck up the whole time.
That's cool.
And coming from somebody who's definitely a zealot when it comes to movies and film nowadays, because everything's mostly trash. This was definitely refreshing, and it kind of hit. I mean, even the nostalgia bait wasn't. This is how you do nostalgia bait.
Mm-hmm.
This is how you do it. You don't throw it in there as a sizzle reel that has no context. You know what I'm saying? You care about it. You care about what you're talking about. You care about your material. And I feel like they cared about it enough. And it displayed clearly. I thought they were going to be like, look, I'm the type of person, I stayed away from not all trailers, but most of the stuff on Twitter.
Right.
Yeah, I was able to not be spoiled for the majority of the stuff that came out in the past like 2 weeks. Yeah.
So in my mind, when I seen Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, with Tom in the press, I kind of thought they were just there for support. You know what I'm saying? I didn't fall in. I mean, I've heard rumors, but I didn't follow into them as much. And when I didn't do that, when I watched the movie, I was genuinely surprised. You know what I mean? So I know y'all be like, man, all day's an idiot. But nah, I really didn't feed into any rumors on Twitter or anything. I really didn't do
no, you don't have to be like, look, like there's been so many times where there have been look, I remember before Infinity War Endgame came out, that all the rumors were saying that it was Captain America that was going to die. Yeah. I remember it was just like, it was almost to the point where it was a universal truth. Like, it was just like, okay, we'll get to the end and Cap's going to bite it. And then it turned out to not be the truth. So it's just like, no, like I wouldn't fall into the trap of like, just because rumors are saying things, then it's got to be true. This doesn't always turn out to be the case. I also just want to shout, like, I'm so glad they brought in Charlie Cox as Daredevil, and it makes sense.
Oh, I was just about to say, dude.
Listen. Y'all want to start with that? We can start with that.
Yeah, let's start. Yeah, let's do that.
Because I mean,
they finally acknowledged it, so I was happy with that.
Now, when I was watching it, right now, I'm sitting there chilling, and when I seen the King, I was like, no. And then I seen him, I was like, what? I said, I'm over here acting crazy in the theater, right? And I just hear nothing. And it's like 20 motherfuckers with me. I'm like, I turn around like, any dinosaurs around here? Because y'all acting like it's Land of the Lost in this motherfucker. Y'all ain't got no soul.
Yeah, I mean, my theater was full of teenage boys, and they were all hype about it. So
I heard like clapping. People were clapping when Charlie Cox showed up on screen. Yeah.
I was the only one clapping. So
Oh, how embarrassing for you!
Yeah, I wasn't with a whole bunch of skeletons, man.
That's great. Be the only one.
Yeah, I was the only one.
Yeah, I was. We were all clapping and cheering in my theater, but I saw it opening night. So
yeah, I saw it opening night.
And this has nothing to do with Spider-Man, but I almost kind of feel like they timed the release of the Hawkeye TV show so that perfectly. The episode, because the episode that has Kingpin in it actually showed up after this movie showed up, so that like Charlie Cox being in the movie actually was like really, because like then people would be like, oh, so the Netflix Marvel stuff is canon to everything else, therefore like people then would make a big deal about Kingpin, I mean about Charlie Cox being
so at some point did they not did they say that the Netflix shows were not canon? Because I always thought that they were. I always thought that was kind of like
they initially said they were, and then the shows didn't do that great, and then they tried to distance themselves away from it, and then it was when,
because everyone remembers the line in Daredevil where they're like, oh, well, here because of New York, it's cheap because of the attack on New York.
Right. Yeah, the Netflix shows always made mention of, like they would talk about
like they acknowledge it.
They would talk about like they wouldn't call him the Hulk. They would give him a nickname.
Green guy.
Talk about the big guy or
the angry guy.
Yeah, they will always do stuff like that, but like the actual MCU movies and TV shows never acknowledge the Netflix shows. But this is good that it's actually showing all in there. It also lets me know that all that stuff is definitely coming back. And
you think all of
we
it's
need
coming back?
John to come back as the Punisher. So
yeah,
Oh
John,
yeah,
yeah,
most
absolutely.
definitely, most
Yeah.
definitely.
But you think Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and Iron Fist are going to come back, or they're going to recast?
Hopefully not.
I hope they're recasting for Iron Fist.
Yeah, they need to recast Iron Fist. Luke Cage, he's got his own show. He's got his own show on CBS, so that might be a bit difficult. He may be like the.
Are you talking about Evil?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh god, I tried watching that. Who was I trying to watch that with? You all day? I can't remember.
I told you to watch it, but I don't know.
You told me about it. Right. Go ahead,
it's all right.
I'm just. How do you guys feel about the other? I never heard any of you guys' opinion on the other shows. I mean, everyone knows Daredevil.
Okay, so I will go ahead and give my viewpoints. Controversial. I thought the first season of Daredevil was extremely boring. It took me a year to watch the entire thing, and by the time I got to the end of it, I was like, "Fuck, dude!" And then season 2 was a lot better. I must admit, I am quite fond of the Punisher, and it was cool seeing Elektra as well. And John, like I said, John does an amazing job as
he's great.
He's amazing as the Punisher. I thought all that stuff was really good. I have not seen season 3 yet of the Punisher.
Season 3 is the best.
Not the Punisher, Daredevil, that is. So I haven't seen that yet. But I saw the end scene where it was Matt and Kingpin, and he was all bloodied up. That shit was amazing. That was absolutely amazing. So I liked the first season of Jessica Jones, but then season 2 fell into the abyss, and season 3 was abysmal. So and then I watched the first half of Luke Cage, but then they killed off
Cottonmouth,
and I was like, I'm not watching this.
And that shit left me with Cottonmouth.
I turned that shit off.
Did you guys ever watch the second season?
And then
I did watch the second season.
When I seen him dab, I knew I was done.
Then I tried to watch Iron Fist, but it was so fucking bad, I just couldn't do it, and I turned that shit off. And then I tried to watch Defenders, but the first thing they show in the Defenders was Iron Fist, and I was like, no, and I turned that shit off. So
Defenders is bad. Iron Fist is very bad. Jessica Jones's first season was good, and then it fell off a cliff for seasons 2 and 3. I think Daredevil is the best. If it got each season got better than the previous one. The third season just amazing.
Yeah,
the origin story, the way they implemented Bullseye in there. Like you can see it in the beginning, just like, is he going to be Bullseye? And then near the end, you're just like, oh man, the way they just built up to that slowly was so great. It was awesome. Punisher was good too. I
have my gripes a little bit with Punisher, but it's mainly just
I didn't finish it either. So
I like the Billy stuff. I just wish that someone would define what type of budget these shows has, so they can actually like kind of do the part. Billy was supposed to look extremely fucked up, and he just has a couple scratches on his face.
Butch in the chat all day is saying, bro, that dab almost made me cancel Netflix.
When I seen it, I was like, oh, not the dancing Eminem. Let me stop, bro.
See, Luke Cage could have been really cool.
Getting a dance over here in Fortnite over here, man. I don't know.
Come on, man.
Yeah, listen, man. Like,
they definitely got to recast Iron Fist, though.
Yeah, they got to recast Iron Fist.
How does the martial arts show not have good fight choreography?
Yeah, I just I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what they could
have. Hey, how does the girl pursuing you fight better than you?
Shit was just not adding
up. What's her name? Jessica Fenwick is her name? Yeah. She's awesome. Like, they need to keep her. Like, I think they even tried to like get rid of him and then make her, because at the end of the second season they make her the new Iron Fist.
Oh, I thought you were gonna call it an Iron Knuckle or something. I don't know.
What is going on? What's up, Ryan? Good to see you, brother. So back to Spider-Man No Way Home, though. My bad, guys. For the little detour. But okay. So what I liked about the film, I liked that Peter actually feels like Peter. One of my biggest issues I've had with Tom Holland's trilogy of films, or the first two, that is that he really got on my nerves in the first one. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a super huge fan of Homecoming, especially on like repeat runs of the movie. I found myself like siding with the Vulture. I'm like, he's just trying to feed his family. Like, I was doing the dramatics, bro. So when you got me over here rooting for the villain, it's like, it's bad. And I felt like he was an idiot. Like, I felt like Peter was a dumbass, I was like, this kid is so fucking stupid. Like, he doesn't know anything about the real world. He doesn't fully comprehend the scope and scale of his powers. He treats everything like a fucking joke, in my opinion. Right? I didn't like the second film when it turned out Mr. Rey Mysterio, okay, was just a fraud. He was frauding. Is that in the comics or something? Like, I don't recall.
Well, he's a villain in the comics, so
I know
like
I know he's a villain, but I know he actually has powers in the comics.
no,
Kinda. Sometimes it depends what version.
He uses illusions as well. Like it's he doesn't have powers like that.
Right.
As far
I believe in the comics he was a stunt man or like an old special effects person for movies. So that's how they did it.
Okay.
So yeah, it was kind of, it's a modern version of it. So
but anyone who knew of him in the comics knew that he wasn't going to be like a straight up good guy. Like, I'm from a different Earth.
I knew he was one of Spider-Man's villains. I didn't like that Peter was like, "Oh wow, Mr. Mysterio, here are the glasses Mr. Stark left me. Here you go. Here's this really expensive technology.
Oh my God, you idiot!
Shucking all responsibility whatsoever.
I really want to know why they thought that was a good decision.
It's like, I'm saying,
make him
like
Iron Lad. Like, I don't know why they thought that
Iron Boy. I don't know. I just felt like maybe. I don't know.
I think they were trying to lean into the. There's a part in the comics in like the story arcs where Peter is like really kind of like the protege of Tony Stark when it comes to. He's like he's smart. He's a smart guy. He's a genius. He's a genius, and he's a very good scientist on his own. Yeah. And this is when like that time period where the comics were trying to like really play up that part. Yeah. Because for too long he had been the broke hero. Like, why are you broke? You're intelligent, you're educated. Like, why can't you just get a decent job already, right? Yeah. Well, Iron Man kind of put him under his wing, and then that's when you see kind of like a change in him. Even after he no longer was really like cool with Tony Stark like that, he decided to like go off and work for a nonprofit. And he was like doing all these inventions and stuff, and then he decided to create his own corporation that blew up and got him rich. But it's like that all that stuff I thought was really interesting. But I could see where they were drawing the influences from. But it's just like to start out that way. Yes, exactly. It's too early for that, and I think they kind of reset everything with the way this movie ended.
Yeah, I feel like okay, I feel like they were trying to differentiate him from the other Spider-Men that have existed, Tobey and Andrews and stuff. So they really they just really had him lean into him being a fan of Tony Stark. And I was like, okay, this is fine, I guess. But he didn't feel like Spider-Man to me or Peter. I was just kind of like, okay. Like I was okay with that, but I wasn't like a huge fan of those two movies. I did like was it Far From Home? I did like Far From Home more than Homecoming. I will admit that, but even still, I was just like, I don't know. But I feel like in this movie, he really like kind of nailed the aspect of Peter that I like, and it's the fact that he struggles. He's a kid.
I would say it's more adult.
I feel like he's more he's growing into himself, and it's like especially with the way the film ended, it's like he is finally Peter Parker, and it's kind of like they did a soft reboot of the character, and they're gonna I think they're going to do the Venom stuff properly.
That's definitely gonna happen.
Wait, so I think, don't you guys feel like all three of these movies was a big origin saga?
Well, I mean,
in retrospect, for sure.
It really was, and I think now he's finally Peter Parker, the Spider-Man that we need.
Like, why did they have to take so long?
I know
to do that. That's kind of one of my gripes with the entire trilogy of it.
It's partially because, a lot of people, when they talked about bringing Spider-Man back, a lot of people said they did not want to see Uncle Ben die again.
Yeah, but they put him back in high school still, like, so they're kind of half-assing it a bit,
Yeah, so they had to kind of do it, but like Ben's already dead when you're introduced to
the Uncle
Tom
Ben
Holland.
stuff in this universe is weird. So like technically he exists, but I guess he didn't die from a gunshot,
right?
Robbed.
So he's already dead. But then they made Aunt May his Uncle Ben. So his Uncle Ben in the MCU, Tom Holland.
I don't feel like that was neat. I don't mind it, but it wasn't needed. No.
Yeah,
No, yeah, it definitely wasn't
I don't think
needed.
she needed to die. I'm not gonna lie. A shout
No,
out to
at all.
Geekhead saying, "Not gonna lie, Tom Spider-Man is really stupid." Yeah, I think he's a fucking idiot.
So
like
He
I
used to
think
be.
I think he's smart.
no, he's still. I think he's still
I think
stupid.
he's very intelligent when it comes to, like books,
Technical stuff, books,
technical
and
stuff.
Yeah,
But
he's
when it comes
he's supposed to be
to
21, right? He's like he's a
like
kid.
Like practical,
when it
like
comes to social
Oh no,
skills,
he's still in high school. He
he's in
just
high school.
graduated high
He just
school.
graduated high school.
Okay,
But
so
when
he's
it
like
comes
18.
to social skills and how he interacts with other people, he's a fucking idiot. And he's
He's
really
naive.
he's really naive. And it's kind of baffling that he just continues to be naive despite the fact that he has been tricked by adults in every single fucking film that he's been featured in
Yeah,
so far.
crazy.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like insane to me. I'm talking mainly his trilogy. Like
Yeah.
he's just had adults trick him. And you would think that after his experience with Mysterio, he would have learned from that and grown from that. But I don't think
Right.
that he didn't fully. I was happy to see the reaction
Right.
after Aunt May died. Like I felt like his response
Yes.
to her dying was realistic to who Peter is as a character. In my opinion, that is.
It is realistic. Every time he's experienced loss, he's had a period, like a very short period, but a period where the whole I'm not going to kill anyone.
Yeah.
I'm trying to save everybody. Spider-Man gets put in the closet. And
Right.
it's straight up, I'm about to murder everybody that come close to me. Spider-Man comes out. Like
Right.
he did it when
He made the
when-
audience feel it, bro.
Yeah, like in the
He's
comics,
a great actor.
Yeah.
in the comics, there's a part where Green Goblin convinces Peter that his parents were still alive, but it was all a trap, and then they tried to kill him. They were like programmed androids or something. And with that loss, like Peter went into like a cocoon basically. When he came out,
Yeah.
he was like, he wasn't even talking to people. He wouldn't take the suit off. He wouldn't take the mask off. He was just straight. He was a different person. And he was like, you could see like with his powers, if he really wanted to go that way, he could be just like
A menace.
a menace, right? And so like I saw kind of like that part of him where he was just like the next time he saw Green Goblin, it was on, and as soon as he had his opportunity, I mean, he beat the hell out of him. Like it was,
Right.
it was
Yeah, after
funny.
getting his ass beat first.
For the first two movies.
I do want to say, other things I enjoyed about the film. I did really like William Dafoe.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He did an amazing job. He fell into that role of being the Green Goblin so well. And he was scary, like genuinely.
Yeah.
And like when I saw that glider behind Aunt May, I was just like, ooh, it's over for her. And when she stood up, I was just like, no, she's like, that
Dead.
should have killed her, right? And it was kind of like that Walking Dead syndrome or whatever.
Right.
And then she fell over and she collapsed and she's just dead. And I'm just like, holy shit. And it's just like, I must admit I did tear up with the whole great power comes great responsibility thing.
Oh, you
and
did?
then like I shed a little tear, dude. And
Yo,
I really
when she said that, I knew she was dead.
Yeah.
At that moment, I was like, "Oh, she's dead. She's dead."
Yeah, and then
Oh,
when
really? Yeah.
She just gave
They-
him
Think
his
about it.
foundation. Yeah.
when they met up on the roof afterwards and he saw the other two Peters and they were just like relaying their own experiences with loss because
Yeah, it
Peter's
was
like
bad.
Peter was like, oh, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to fucking hear what you guys have been through. I'm like, no, you need to hear what they've been through because they've been through similar things. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's just kind of like you need to understand that it's not just you. You're not the only person experiencing this kind of loss. And another standout moment I really, really liked when Andrew's Peter saved MJ. I felt like it was him
Yeah.
redeeming himself
Yep.
after failing Gwen, and like Andrew really sold it because he started tearing up, he started
Yeah.
sniffling.
Oh, he's
MJ
so
was
good.
like, he was like, "Are you okay?" And then MJ's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like,
Yeah.
"He's not okay." But,
Yeah, he's not okay.
no, because like I really was a huge fan of Andrew and
Me too.
Emma's relationship
Great.
as Gwen and Peter. Like I really
They're
felt
really
that
good.
relationship. I was a huge fan of that. So I also
I
really
love
liked
that.
when Toby's Spider-Man stopped him from killing the Green Goblin.
Yeah, that was really cool.
That was
That
really
was
good.
pretty. That was pretty
and then
powerful.
even this, I
Yeah.
felt like that was like the most acting Toby did in that entire film. Just his eyes saying, "No, you don't want to do this."
You know what I felt like when I was
looked
watching
so
it?
goofy coming out of the hole.
But
He's
when
like,
I was
"Hey,
watching all
guys."
three, you really, in retrospect, I got to appreciate each Spider-Man for what they were. As I'm watching it, because it's like Toby seemed like the heart. the nostalgia, the heart, the me when I was young, the
Yeah.
Spider-Man, the first film, like just everything. He was the, he's
classic Peter
the
Parker.
youth pastor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that line. He was like, I mean, do you
saying?
have a suit, or you gonna be everyone's coolest youth pastor over here?
Yeah,
He
he was a missionary. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
but I to Luca's point about the whole him not saving Gwen in Amazing Spider-Man 2, I like how they explained what has happened to him since then. In between, so like even though it was kind of like maybe like a throwaway line, it really wasn't, because it really showed, like they set up the whole part where you see him being emotional for saving MJ, because he said he went dark and he just kind of just really wasn't saving people no more.
Batman,
he was just out there, just he went Batman on his
Stop
universe.
pulling his punches,
Yeah.
I thought
I want to see that.
Another standout moment was Doc Ock turning good. You know what I mean? I think that I really like when he and especially in the comics, because he goes to the anti-hero stuff. I think in Superior Spider-Man he was an anti-hero.
I think we should. I want to see Superior Spider-Man.
That'd be
I
great.
do want
Superior Spider-Man.
That would
is such
be
a great
amazing.
comic.
So
it was
so good.
So I have a
So
question.
good.
Do you guys think that they're gonna, since technically they're supposed to be a variant of them in this world, right? Do you think that they're gonna go the way of making them, like making this the way to cast William Dafoe as his Green Goblin, or so on and so forth?
No, I don't think that's the case.
So.
I think this was kind of like a last hurrah for William
Yeah,
Dafoe, kind of like a, hey, you know what? I don't want to just come back as like a nostalgia bait. I really want to be integral to this film, and he was,
Yeah, he was
like
great.
he was a defining moment for Peter. So
dropped him through that hotel floor.
He beat the shit out of him, dude.
Power bombed him through.
There was that was so sick. Did y'all notice they kind of did the superhero trope thing, or maybe it's just me, but I don't know. Y'all might notice it too. But in most films and TV shows, whenever the superhero is not in character, they usually tend to wear the clothing that their uniform represents.
Yeah.
So when I seen them with that, that all of a sudden you pick just a perfect green hoodie with the purple undershirt or whatever, I'm like, I love it.
That was very tropey, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, oh man.
So do you think they're going to put them in future, like different versions? Not necessarily it has to be the same actors. You don't think Green Goblin will exist in the Spider-Man MCU verse?
Spider-Man has probably a bigger rogue gallery than Batman. They don't have to go back to Green. They don't have to go back.
They'll probably do Hobgoblin if anything.
They'll do Craven. They'll do Hobgoblin.
Well, yeah, we know
they'll probably
Venom
do Black Cat at some point.
Yeah,
Venom
Black
is
Cat
definitely next. And Black Cat's kind of like, she's not really.
She's an anti-hero.
She's an anti-hero.
Yeah,
that's like his little side piece. You know what I mean?
I want them.
She went from anti-hero to villain. More recently in the comics.
I want them to do. Listen. I want them to do Kingpin. I want them to do Kingpin. I know we've already seen him with Daredevil. I want them to bring him back. I want to see him. I want to see. Because I think they're gonna do his version of the Lizard too, right?
I don't know. I knew that they were gonna do Craven if this movie didn't pan out.
So with Kingpin, if you gotta watch the end of Hawkeye. I don't think Kingpin's gone, but there's a possibility.
He's not gone. Just like Matt's not gone. They're just there.
But hey, Slow-Mo, have you noticed, if you follow the animated series or remember it, they're kind of following that storyline? It seems like it, timeline-wise. I think the first villain in that was the Lizard Man, and then it was Green Goblin, and then Venom, and so it seems like they're kind of pulling from there a little bit.
So they could do Scorpion. Technically, Scorpion's supposed
Rhino,
to
right?
So actually, thinking about it, he does have a huge rogues gallery. But who would you actually want to see? Because they kind of
Craven.
I want to see
Craven.
I want
Venom and Craven for sure.
I want Venom so bad. I keep saying villain. I said villain. Venom.
Because
I want Venom.
Villain in the chat, yeah.
But
I would.
They really need to do Venom. I mean, they
Venom
already
too.
kind of set. They kind of
But
set it up already.
When they open the multiverse in the sky, somebody said there's Craven in the sky. If you can see.
Wait, because he had his the outfit or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Craven, you're probably right. Whoever said Hobgoblin, they're probably gonna do Hobgoblin.
Yeah, Hobgoblin.
Isn't Ned supposed to be a version of Hobgoblin in the comics?
He's like the third version.
Mm-hmm, third version. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, Scorpion, Craven. You think they might do Morbius?
Well,
Maybe.
Morbius is not. He's an anti-hero almost. He's not really that.
Well, they
bad.
already introduced him in his own movie, so I think at some point he's going to cross paths with Tom Holland,
Morless?
Spider-Man.
Do you guys know who Morless is?
No.
Do you know who Ezekiel is in
Yes.
Spider-Man? Yeah,
Yes.
when he fights the guy who's like comes to the different Spider-Verses to take the spider.
Oh yeah,
that guy.
Yeah, I remember.
Like
Shout
sucking the native energy or whatever it is.
Shout out to Meat Puppet with Super Chat saying, I would like them to use Kingpin to introduce Black Suits.
That'd be fire.
I was gonna say something, but I fucking forgot, dude.
It would be dope. See, and you know what? I think they're gonna do this because at the end credits, when you see my homeboy Eddie, you know what I'm saying, you see the little the symbiote, you know what I'm saying, on the table. That, and then Peter's in a dark place right now, kinda. You know what I'm saying? So that makes sense to kind of lead up to him getting a dark suit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
yeah, he's all on his own. He doesn't know anybody. Nobody.
I don't
knows
get
him.
how he's there though. I don't understand how he's there.
Yeah,
what do you mean?
That was going to be one of my negatives.
So
Venom,
you know, the whole spell.
He was in Mexico, right?
Yeah.
No. See, the spell said that anyone who knew that Peter Parker was Spider-Man would get brought into Tom Holland's universe.
Eddie Brock doesn't know who Peter Parker is or Spider-Man is.
Yeah, he has no idea. So
how did that work?
Yeah, how did he leave? So how did a part of him get left?
Yeah, get stuck there.
You get stuck there when all of him got sent back to his Earth. Like it's just
that's weird.
It's weird, but I know they basically they had to figure a way because they had already created Eddie Brock and already did it without Spider-Man.
Electro also didn't know who Spider-Man was. So
yeah, and Electro's there for no reason. So even though he was a good part,
Jamie Foxx was like, "If you bring me back, you need to fix my teeth, fix my hairline." Like
I like those movies,
you know what? His outfit. I mean, let's talk about the wardrobe real quick because I thought
spider suit than normal.
Oh man, I thought that. I mean, they pay attention to details so well. I was kind of surprised, like the way that suit was just the other suit inside out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was cool.
And just I think Green Goblin's shit was dope. Like his the hood. He had the hood on.
Yeah, that was dope.
Yeah, I really appreciated Electro's the homage to the cartoon.
Yeah, the little star over his face. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, it's the best looking like Iron Man, Spider-Man suit with the red and the black and the gold. I hate the one from Infinity War and Endgame. It looks so dumb to me.
Okay, so let's see here. Meat Puppet. Okay. These are, I mean, at the end of the day, these are ideas, unless they've been confirmed. Let me know. But okay, so the boys are saying Venom has a hive mind. That's what King Kiesel says. Meat Puppet's also like the reason Tom Hardy got sucked in is because Venom knows who Spider-Man is, or at least that was a speculation I saw in a few videos. Alex says, but the symbiote did mention that he is part of a multi-dimensional hive mind. So you could say a symbiote in the MCU.
Here's their bullshit answer.
That makes that still doesn't make any sense.
Can I finish reading this, please? Could say a symbiote in the MCU knew Peter was Spider-Man. Yes, and explained it by saying the energy is different here. So in my opinion, that sounds like something that people are using to make it make sense because it doesn't, which is fine. It is a very valid
point,
excuse, a kind of idea, but I don't think it, if they don't explain it in the movie, then But
how are they going to explain?
That's valid at all because he hasn't encountered any other of that species yet
ever.
So how would they know? Oh well,
I guess the hive mind thing, right?
And this was across dimensions. So cross-dimensional, like they all know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man because in one dimension they know. That doesn't make any sense. There's zero explanation for that in the MCU, and that's just somebody coming up with something on their own. I mean, I'm not trying to be a dick about it. I'm just saying that that doesn't explain it.
I think it does explain it. I mean, if it's a multi-dimensional hive mind, and I think there would probably be more universes where Venom exists. Who knows who Peter Parker is? So, I mean, what Arcade is saying, it's in the comics. So,
okay,
I'm willing to go with it. I mean, look up Cole.
The god, the symbiote and then
god. King Kiesel says it's comic accurate, and it was mentioned in the last Venom movie. I must admit. I didn't pay that close attention to that
I
last
didn't
Venom
watch the
movie.
Venom movies.
I didn't watch it yet.
It was really
Not very
fucking
good.
bad. Like it was
It's
really
not very
bad.
good.
I'm
Oh,
gonna watch it.
But you know what? I do.
Nah,
vaguely-
you don't need to.
You don't need to see it because it's really bad. And
I'm a Venom fan.
matter
I
of
gotta
fact, I
watch
do
it.
want to get a phone call from you about you explaining it to me, how you feel
All
about
right.
it, because I already know.
Oh man.
I already know that it's about to be a bad fucking time when
So
it comes to
is the Morbius movie okay? So Michael Keaton is in that. Is that so? He's in the MCU then, right?
I don't know.
They didn't, I don't
there's
think
a,
so.
There's a
In the
post-credit
trailer-
scene in the last Venom movie that explains it. Okay.
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 Yeah, you know what? That actually does make sense. Like I said, as soon as I saw Carnage was upset because of a girl, I was like, no, thank you, and I stopped paying attention the rest of the movie. So,
Is
it's-
it Shriek? Is the girl Shriek? Because that's the
No.
only.
Oh yes.
Shriek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is Shriek. Okay.
Shout
Yeah,
out to Zendaya for being like one of my favorite people I like seeing on screen in this movie.
you know, she's just continuing to win. So shout out to
Like,
her. But me
Double
since
raise
Doctor
for her this
Strange.
year.
Doctor Strange did mention we don't know a lot about the multiverse, so they could use the hive mind as an excuse for that answer, but they'd have to
Right.
flesh the idea out a little bit better. Yeah, okay, it makes sense. So, I mean,
Right.
I get it. What's up, Latex? I want to say, what else did I like? Overall, really good film. I enjoyed it. What I didn't like, Ned Powers?
Didn't he, wait. Let's talk about that because
Okay,
didn't he have a ring on his hand?
Yes, he
Or
did.
like,
Yeah.
so he doesn't really have the power. He just
Can
used-
anybody just take a ring and use?
He
use
did.
a
I'd have
We
ring?
to
never
watch
seen-
Doctor Strange again. I don't.
we never seen
remember.
anybody else do it, have we? So we don't know. They never really explained that.
Yeah, that was not explained. That was not done very well. I don't understand that at all. Because like he tried to say, my family always says I'm magic or
Yeah,
something, and then that's
yeah, that was weird.
I don't.
Like,
I don't think it's
what?
supposed to matter that much. I think you're not supposed to think about it that much. Just kind of.
I think he was just a plot device. I think.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to get you to point B.
I do also think that he will never. This is just my theory. I don't think he's ever going to be in the Spider-Man movies again.
Yeah.
If we see him again, he's going to be the best friend of Miles Morales if they do a live action Miles Morales, because I mean originally that character that they were trying to shoehorn Miles Morales stuff into Peter Parker in Homecoming. So like that entire character, the way it's created, that's Miles
It seemed like
Morales'
it
best friend.
seemed like it's meant to be Miles Morales' best friend.
Because he is
A little
Like,
bit,
in
yeah,
the
'cause
comics.
he is,
He's
but,
Miles Morales' best friend,
Oh,
not Peter's best
oh,
friend.
okay.
Maybe they'll become friends since Ned can't remember who Peter is.
Oh,
Right,
shit.
exactly.
Okay, so real quick,
Exactly.
I did want to look,
Hey!
and he also doesn't remember the warning about not becoming the Hobgoblin. So there's that.
Right.
Right.
Okay, so warning: this article contains spoilers for Venom: Let There Be Carnage. In the Venom post-credit scene, it revealed the symbiotes possess a hive mind that transcends the multiverse. For years, there's been speculation about Sony, blah 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 blah. So basically, they kind of threw that line in to just be like, okay, this is why they're here. So the symbiote admits to hiding things from its host, Eddie Brock, explaining that 80 billion light years of hive knowledge across universes would explode your tiny little brain. So, I mean, that actually does fucking make sense.
Okay.
And then there is the comic book origin with Null. The character, I think his name is pronounced Null. All right, so yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I'm fine with it. So, but yeah, anyway, moving on from that, I didn't like the little shoehorn with his magic. I was just like, okay, I was like, okay. But it was very much a plot convenient sort of thing. I guess this is just in his character. Doctor Strange is also a fucking dumbass. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you couldn't have told Peter before you did the spell, like, okay, this is how it's going to work exactly.
Yeah.
Also, don't do the spell with Peter in the room.
Yeah.
Or like, how about, hey, can I get down who you want to know first?
Yeah.
Like, let me write it
Also,
down
You don't
before
have
I'm
any of
doing
that
it.
beforehand. Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
Peter could have just told them again afterwards. Like, it didn't have to be a fucking thing. He's like, but what about my experiences with MJ? We're just gonna forget. Shut the fuck up and just tell your girlfriend that you're Spider-Man again.
Especially by the end of this movie.
All of that for him at the end to not even tell her.
That's what I'm about to say. Like, at the end of this movie, I think he would have rather had the first spell instead of the second.
Tom, you had to go through all this shit.
Just so people don't remember.
Bro, you could have first of all, you could have called the college, right? Then you could have just pulled homegirl to the side, talk to her. I mean, simple shit, right? But you live and you learn, So he made some mistakes.
I think my biggest problem with this movie is that I think the first half really doesn't matter, in my opinion. I don't care about it at all.
I like the pacing in all of it. I think the pacing was phenomenal.
Yeah, I think this movie flies by. This is a long ass movie, and the pacing is just flying by. I think for me personally, I would have wanted the entire movie as the Toby, Andrew, Tom Holland show.
Me too, but I think we got enough.
I want so much more.
Oh, of course.
I really like seeing them though. Like their introduction was nice. But shout out to Geekhead with the super chat saying one bad thing about the plot was like the reason for everything happening in this movie is really stupid, and why Tom is stupid. Like, I mean, like at the end, he's a fucking dumbass. Like he's a stupid kid. But I feel like I said, the way this movie ended, it's going to remedy him being a dumb kid, and then maybe in the next film he'll date other girls too.
But
I think that's definitely going to be the case.
I think it's going to be Gwen Stacy for the next two, and then probably the last one will be Mary Jane.
He'll go back to her. Yeah.
Michelle Jones, you mean?
Yeah, Michelle Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that she's going to be gone for a little bit, but then we'll be reintroduced to her in like another movie or two.
My girlfriend
either Gwen Stacy or Black Cat will probably be introduced at some point. It will be a love interest for the next movie. But I think the reason why he's so dumb in this movie, and he made some of the dumbest decisions, as well as Doctor Strange as well made a lot of dumb decisions, is all the kind of it's what we sometimes talk about, how when writers have a certain like point they're trying to get to, so they have characters do really out of character dumb things
just to prove a point,
a specific point, just so they could get to where they want to be.
Right.
Everything that happened in this movie all comes down to that final scene where Peter opens up his 1-bedroom trash apartment, puts everything down, starts building his suit again. That is quintessential Spider-Man. That's the Spider-Man that everybody knows.
So clean.
Yeah, and so like they did all this.
You see my name, right?
To that point. Yeah, they had to get rid of the whole Iron Man thing, him having all these resources. They had to get rid of that old stuff to get him to broke
the foundation,
poor Peter Parker Spider-Man, with sewing his suit up in his 1-bedroom apartment, barely making ends meet, and going out there and just fighting crime in his neighborhood. That's
so would you say it's Spider-Man for the animated series, right? All right.
Yeah, I want to say
it is, bro.
I actually went back to watch the first episode of Spider-Man the animated series, and he was fighting the Lizard. And like, I just, he's working at the newspaper. He's like, okay, I got to go get a picture. He's all thinking about things he wants to buy with the money. And then like, Aunt May is hiding bills from him because they're behind. And he's like, damn, look at me trying to think about myself when I need to be helping my aunt with her fucking bills and shit. He was cracking jokes. Like he was, and then, I mean, I did think it was funny because like the lizard and the cartoon was like, yeah, I want to make more lizards. Yeah, I want to make lizard. And I know that was a big point of contention for people in the Amazing Spider-Man. I just think it's funny. I'm like, I guess that's just his character. He just wants to make more lizards,
Yeah, he wants to make.
I was actually watching Amazing Spider-Man a little bit earlier. Andrew Garfield's the funniest Spider-Man.
When you see him in comparison,
the funniest one, yo.
When you see him in comparison, it's pretty jarring. Like, damn, I was like, hey, can you just ask Tom if you want to take your shifts? I mean, I don't know. Y'all can switch places. He can do your job. You can do his, because
he's the only talky one out of all of them. It's
and I think that's funny though. I like that. I think that's like the point. I think he's wisecracking Spider-Man, and listen. I've said this before. Andrew Spider-Man is my favorite, and I grew up initially with Toby's, obviously, right? And Spider-Man 2 is still my favorite of the entire Spider-Man franchises, right? But I really do like Andrew as Spider-Man. I like him a lot. And like Toby, I could just never get behind him and MJ, because MJ was, she belongs to the streets, man. I don't know what else to say.
She is for the streets. Yeah, good grief. Like, let any dude, I'm with him now. It's just like, what? Yeah, Toby is like, if I had to rank them, Andrew is 1, Tom is 2, Toby is 3.
You know what's crazy? And everybody talks shit about Andrew though. That's crazy. At the time,
it's not his fault.
Those movies aren't the best, but he is great in them. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, listen. Out of all the listen. I'm not a world's director, but I mean, give me a shot. I can probably knock it out the park. Listen, why the fuck would you ever put Lizard Man as a fucking? Listen, he was a trap. Listen,
I was just mad they didn't give him the coat in the movie. I thought they would have given him the coat.
The Lizard's like a 1 episode.
That's exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. He's not a whole movie type of villain. He's like a villain you kind of punch in the head as you're trying to get through the sewer, like, you know, just
he's over here because like his main thing is wanting to make more lizard people, dude. I don't know. Shout out to Sycamore saying, I'm just ticked off that he was able to fix villains who are 10 times more experienced than him in science.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point.
That's a good fucking point.
That's a great fucking point, actually. He hasn't peaked his experience yet. He was able to do that. That didn't sit well with me. You know, that's actually a really good point.
Yeah. A really good point.
With more Stark tech, it's just like this is why they had to get away from Iron Man and Stark tech, because Iron Man in itself, and we even see it in the comics, he's a big old like, let's just undo all the messed up stuff we did by just saying Iron Man, Tony Stark fabricated something that fixes this. It's just like it's a get out of jail free card. It always is that they literally had that in the movie. Here's just box just collecting dust in the corner that could create anything. Really? Like you just had that in your apartment in the extra room, just sitting there collecting dust. Really? Like come on. Like
at least you got to see
it as well. It's a different time for us or something.
Also, like, I did see someone else say he was really dumb to let out every single one of those villains
at the same time.
And just let them roam around, even especially when some of them were like, I don't know if I want to get rid of my power, you know, like Electro's like, hello,
kind of like how I look here,
you know. Of course he looked like a goofball in the fucking movie, you know. And his powers are dope, so it's like, you know, I don't know, man.
He definitely jumped back into a tank of electric eels as soon as he got back to his own.
Like literally, though, I did see that.
I want my powers back ASAP.
And he, honestly speaking, considering who he could probably fabricate his powers again or make them again,
something
you know,
like that.
And it's also kind of like, you know, something else I didn't like. I know that they touched on briefly how Andrew and Toby Spider-Mans were doing, but they didn't really
not a lot
tell us anything. No. You know, like I would have liked to have known that Andrew Spider-Man, maybe he found his own version of MJ, you know, because or maybe and then also, okay, Spider-Man 3, didn't he hit MJ during that entire black suit Spider-Man fiasco?
I can't remember
either, but I did.
Can you remember what happened?
Whether or not he like hit or pushed MJ during his black suit Spider-Man fiasco.
I think it was an accident or something like that. Yeah. I haven't watched that one.
Remember, I think she said like, "What's getting into you?" You know, that type of thing.
And then
he goes and dances.
First of all, he's over here. Toby is old as dust, talking about me and MJ are still complicated. Ninja, if you don't get another fucking girlfriend,
why?
I'm like, she is for the streets. What's
apparently they haven't fought any other villains because Andrew Garfield's like, I fought the weirdest guy I ever fought was a rhinoceros. It's been like however many years since that he hasn't fought anymore.
I guess like the rest of his rogues gallery were just like, we're not showing up. Or and then King Kiesel said he slapped her at her job. So like this idea and concept Peter. That maybe they're still together.
Damn, Toby.
A little bit weird, you know.
Also, there was a bit of a retcon with Doc Ock. So remember when Doc Ock showed up and he was like, he said that the last thing he remembered, he was fighting Spider-Man. Yeah, and then like
with his machine.
Right. But in Spider-Man 2, because I rewatched this like after watching No Way Home, he comes to his senses and tells Peter to get MJ out of here, and then he actually disables his machine and drowns him and kills himself.
Yeah, he dies a good guy.
He dies a good guy. He came back right before that happened, it seems. So
yeah. But you know what? When he went back, he still died. That's fucked up, bro.
Yeah, because he gotta go.
It was like this. Ah! Woo, where am I?
Also,
Go back.
Sandman didn't need to be in this movie. He just didn't have to.
I mean, they were filler. Also, I don't understand why he was fighting so hard. Why he was
Yeah.
fighting them? It's like,
I don't
Why
know
was
you.
Sandman there?
I don't trust you.
I was like, don't you want to be cured of the fact that you're a giant sand man? Like, what's going on? You know?
Yeah, he had no. Like,
He did-
what
yeah,
was
he
that
was weird.
about?
He was. Is it just me?
His explanation was, "I just want to be with my daughter." That's
Yeah.
what he's trying to do for you, dude. Like, why are you even fighting him? You should be
I
on
mean,
the other side.
The only villain they really needed in this movie would probably be Electro, Doc
Goblin.
Ock, and Green Goblin. Like,
Yep. Yeah.
could you imagine if this
agree.
whole movie was just Green Goblin? Just
Yeah.
William
Oh,
Dafoe
that would
eating
be
up
so
the
great.
scenery? It'd be great.
That's like his Joker. But
Yeah.
you know
Mhm.
what though? Honestly, I think that William Dafoe, he knocked it apart now, just as he did back then. You know what I mean?
I think he
hasn't
did
lost
better.
it. Yeah,
Honestly.
I think he did better.
I think he did a better
Um,
job.
He seems. Oh, did y'all see that? Hey, not for nothing. I know it's off topic. Well, not really though. But man, tweet. Fuck, I can't even talk. A post on Twitter had went viral of William Dafoe talking about the process of how they got him to come back on the set.
Want to do the stunts?
Yeah, and somebody quote retweeted that clip and said, "Man, this sound like the NBA floor," because every time he would talk, you would hear this whiskering.
Yeah.
Like he would whistle. he would whistle. Wait, I'm gonna find it right now. Luke, you got to play it, but go ahead, keep
Okay,
still going.
so Sycamore with the super chats member of the Scumdoads for 5 months says the question is how does that change the timeline due to the fact them going back knowing they were supposed to die?
Right.
Maybe they can enroll in some therapy. I don't know.
But it doesn't really change. Like in MCU, when the way time travel and stuff works, is that like it's not necessarily that they are going back and then, for example, with Green Goblin, he goes back, he's cured, therefore he doesn't die, therefore that would have changed things. Like in the MCU, like they kind of explained that with Infinity War and Endgame. If you change something, it just creates a new timeline.
Yeah.
So they're gonna go back. In the original timeline they came from, they still died, but they're gonna go back and there's gonna be a new timeline where they lived and they are cured or whatever their issues are, and then that's like it's just a new branch, so to speak. So
yeah, maybe they can. Some of them can help Peter out with his other villains that will show up throughout. So.
Yeah,
I don't know. Overall, what else? Overall, I did like the movie. It is not the best superhero movie ever, though.
Yeah.
But it was still very good. And I mean, a lot of it was nostalgia, but a lot of it was also like the fact that Tom Holland finally fucking feels like Spider-Man. He feels like Peter Parker to me now, finally. And so I'm looking forward to and I'm interested and invested in the future of that franchise starring him. I like the little nod to perhaps a Miles existing. I like that a lot. And
I just want to know, are they going to make him the Robert Downey Jr. moving forward for the remaining phases? Since he's probably going to be in for another 3.
I think this distanced him from he'll still be involved in the MCU in some way, but I think
he's the biggest character. He's the most popular character now.
Yeah, no, they're not going to do that because they wouldn't have, like Slomo said, they would not have done all this to distance him if that was the case.
Yeah. Because now all the Avengers don't even remember that he existed.
Also, he is still just a child, so.
Yeah. Yeah, they're definitely going in a different direction with the MCU now.
I saw your tweet earlier this week where you're like the Young Avengers. That's totally where they're going.
Oh yeah, they're definitely going to build that up.
And
they've already introduced 5 out of the 7 Young Avenger characters in the MCU in some shape.
I think I might be out if that's what they're gonna do.
I sent it to you, Luca.
But yeah, some of the coolest shit in this movie is like the little interactions between them. Like, did you guys see when they're swinging around and Andrew Garfield's like zipping off of them? Like,
yeah, I seen that.
Yeah, that was really cool.
I thought my favorite scene in the movie was the with Lola, man, and the grandma. You know what I'm saying? And the house scene, that was great.
Yeah, that was great.
That was a great scene. I felt like I was at home getting in trouble too. Shit.
I like the part where MJ hits him with the biscuit. And he's Why didn't you dodge that? He said, it's a biscuit. It's like, I'm not dodging a biscuit.
Oh, here we go. Watch this. Oh, she found it.
What do you mean I found it? You sent it to me.
No, yeah, I know. I'm saying you got it, technically.
Okay.
To do this physical stuff was important to me. In fact, one of the first things I said to Amy, basically when they pitched it to me before there was was listen, pop in there.
He does actually sound like it. Yeah, he does. It's the squeaking. That must be
it's the tennis shoes
voice.
that's like when, let's say, when you turn and cut and it makes a squeak on the hardwood floor. Yeah,
it sounds like it's the sound in the studio he's in right now or wherever he's
as
at.
A cameo or just fill in close-ups. I want to do the action because that's fun for me, and also it's really impossible to add any integrity or any fun to the character if you don't participate in these things, because all
Top
that
of the key.
action stuff informs your relationship to the characters in the story.
I'm open.
And also allows you.
ISO.
Yeah, something else I also did want to point out is I feel like they've done such a good job this last maybe 5 years with their villains in the MCU.
Yeah,
that used to be a major point of contention for a lot of people. Is like your villains are trash, but like I think they did good with Ego, the Living Planet. I think they did really good with the Vulture.
Vulture is great.
Like they've done such a.
Killmonger was good.
Is the Vulture good, or is
no?
He's not
great.
great.
No, the Vulture.
He's in prison.
Wait, the Vulture was great. And then I think they did a really good job with Killmonger, like you were saying. Shang-Chi is a fucking phenomenal film.
Great.
And the villain of that film is amazing and also really hot. And he does, that's my Delph, right? Anyway, he also did a really great job with that. So, I commend them.
Dilf.
Yes.
Yes. Hey, you sound like what's your rank? No, yeah, I heard Dilf.
Yeah, you heard what I said. That's what I said.
I never heard the terminology. All right.
Oh, really? It's like MILF, but Dilf.
Luca, man, come on. I am the punchline king.
I just had to explain it to you.
You don't need to. It's okay. I have a big. I have blinders on. It's okay.
Okay. Anyway, moving on from that little diversion. But yeah, so they've done a really good job with that, and I'm excited to see where they go next. I guess I'm assuming they're going to do Venom next for Tom. I would like to see a live action Miles Morales. I would like to see that. Do you think they're going to wait until Tom is done, or are they going to bring that through during?
They're going to introduce him in the third.
Yes. They introduce him.
That's like classic movie tropes.
Yeah, I think they'll introduce him once Tom is officially done in the third, and by then the Across the Spider-Verse stuff would be out. They may do a trilogy of that, so like that Miles Morales would be done at that point.
Is it just me, or does Peter, like throughout history, I'm not saying all the time, but I'm just kind of reflecting now. Does it seem like he always trying to rationalize with the villain before he fucks him up?
Yes, that's what Peter does.
I think that's what he does, right? Like he always tries. Like he'd be like, "Look, I'm gonna go ahead and web down here to what's his name, right? Morbius. He in there in the office late nights, 12 o'clock. I gotta go turn these pictures in. Let me go talk to this fool. Hey, stop killing motherfuckers. I am just letting you know. I'm gonna have to come back through this vent and web your ass to the wall. I'm just letting you know. Yeah. Okay,
that's
you good.
And
then they don't listen, and he comes back, and then he got to fight, and then so.
He's remorseful about it.
He feels like in every situation that it doesn't matter what a villain does, he doesn't have to go to the level that they go, that he can stop them without actually having to kill them and believe in second chances and stuff. And I've always been very much like that's just a ridiculous mindset, especially when it comes to I see heroes doing that, and then it's like they keep allowing this same villain to go out. He continues to keep killing other people. I think the only time that's ever really like worked out for him is Doc Ock. Even
a little bit.
When Doc Ock took over his body and was trying to be Spider-Man and realized how hard it was, because Doc Ock was very much of like, nah, look, you out here doing the wrong thing, I'm gonna break you. And he was breaking people, but then he started to realize like this is Parker was really, this is not easy. None of this stuff is easy. And by the end of it, he was like, he had a lot of respect for how Peter went about, like, his life. But that's the only time I can actually recall like it actually working out, where you keep letting the villain get away, keep letting them off the hook, and then they actually learn. The rest of them either end up dead by their own choices, or they're just still in that loop of, I'm going back to the raft for a while, but when I get out, I'm killing about a dozen people before you catch me again, kind of deal. And it's just I can't stand it.
Yeah, it's very much the old, golden era of comics kind of trope that has continued to, keep persistent through a lot of modern hero stories. So, it doesn't bother me too much because that's kind of what the characters are. But I get what you mean in terms of like a real world logic.
Yeah, but and then also it makes sense for the writers in the comics, because like you're not killing the Joker off; he's too popular. So even if you do kind of like make it seem like, oh, the Joker died, like he's coming back, you're gonna write a way for him to come back.
Well, that's comics in general.
To let go.
Like,
yeah. They do it with heroes too. They kill off.
The whole New 52 Scott Snyder run where they killed both Batman and Joker, and then they came back like 3 months later.
I think they might introduce. Oh, go ahead.
Shout out to Sycamore Super Chat saying the next movie is actually going to be The Rise of Kingpin. He actually is someone who puts Spider-Man in check. That's why Daredevil was introduced to guide Spider-Man.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
They're setting it up, bro. Like, why else would he be there?
Damn, do I need to watch Hawkeye?
Nah.
to see
it's all right.
He's in the last 2 episodes of Hawkeye. Hawkeye's good though. It's worth a watch, even if you.
I used to like Hawkeye when he was Ronin, like in comics, but I think that was kind of it.
Well, they touched on his time in the MCU as Ronin. It's really the crux of the entire
the main
story
theme of the show. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because it's kind of like his comeuppance, the things that he did in those 5 years when, as Ronin, are kind of coming, like the chickens kind of come home to roost, kind of deal. Like people are justifiably upset.
Oh, if they doing it like that, I might check it out then.
Upset. They tap into a little bit of Matt Fraction's run on Hawkeye with a bit of the stylistic choices and the pizza dog. So it's a nice show. I like Jeremy Renner. He's pretty good as Hawkeye, and they do some cool cameos here and there. So
and Haley Steinfeld killed it. Her role as Kate Bishop is she's great. She's perfect as Kate Bishop.
I think after this they're gonna head into Madam Web, I think, soon too.
Oh, don't tempt me, bro.
I think so.
That'd be
not now. Cool. I think it's kind of early. It's kind of early though, but I think eventually they'll be heading on there.
I would like to see Madam Web.
Yeah.
Especially since they touched on the multiverse.
Exactly.
So after Doctor Strange, who do you think I think it's going to be Fantastic Four that gets introduced first, given Reed Richards and the multiverse and kind of what he means.
Reed Richards is very important to the Marvel franchise.
In general.
So
especially if they plan on doing Galactus, you have to have Reed.
They want to do Secret Wars. They want to do that.
Ooh, that'd be heat.
That'd be heat.
So you need Reed Richards and you need a Doctor Doom for that.
The Illuminati.
Bro, if they do the Illuminati, that'd be so freaking cool.
Hey, that'd be dope, right?
Yeah.
Well, they're doing Sinister Six, I think. That's what they're setting up. So let them deal with that first.
But I think, Fantastic Four gets introduced next because I don't think they have an idea of what to do with X-Men at all yet.
There's a rumor, I don't believe it, but there's a rumor that Reed Richards and Magneto will be introduced in the new Doctor Strange movie.
Stop
I don't believe
playing with
that.
me slow-mo. Where's your source?
Really?
Where's your source, bro?
I don't have it. It was just tweets on Twitter, like from like actual, like kind of like what like Twitter accounts that actually be like leaking stuff, but I don't believe that one because like they're all kind of like up in the air and things.
That was like with WandaVision, and you were like, "Oh, Magneto's gonna be in one of the episodes," or Mephisto.
Wow, they listen. I just want to say they really fucked us over because that fucking fly that showed up, and we were all like Mephisto, and then it just turns out to be nothing.
Or even just
oh god!
Like why did you use that actor for Quicksilver.
That's what I'm
Why
saying.
the actor?
Ralph
they
Boner?
they clearly just wanted to troll people, yo. It was messed up.
I didn't like it.
Even though they did say Doctor Strange was supposed to be in the at the post credit scene for WandaVision, but he was on lockdown and which country? I can't remember which country it is, but that when the pandemic started, they weren't let anyone in or out. So he was stuck there for like a year, so he couldn't do the scenes. But
Speaking of Doctor Strange, that trailer looks cool. So
King Kiesel said X-Men and Fantastic Four probably not coming for a minute, probably into Phase 4.
yeah.
You know what? I just want to see Blade. That's the next one I'm excited for. I'm not gonna lie. Of course, I'm gonna go see Doctor Strange, but I'm not like super hyped for it right now. So
It doesn't matter.
You say you are excited for Blade or not? I didn't hear.
I said I am excited for Blade.
Oh, good. Yeah, yeah.
I know what you were about to say. Relax.
that was not coming for a while either.
No, it's not. I think 2023. I think.
Over here
But-
trying to get on me about Blade like I didn't fucking watch. What was his name? That fucking rapper and that Blade TV
Sticky
show?
Fingers.
I have the first season, or I guess the only.
Oh yeah, that's right. I
season
forgot. You
of
was
the
OG.
Blade
You OG. I
TV
forgot.
show.
I forgot.
You know,
I
don't
forgot.
play.
I forgot.
With me,
I forgot. I forgot because we was
Love
all
that
we
shit.
were talking about that last week. How that was our favorite, one of our favorite shows. Yeah.
Yeah. So shout out to Geekhead saying who's winning, Dr. Fate or Doctor Strange? Fate smoking him for real.
Dr. Fate.
Probably Dr.
Fate.
Fate.
Yeah, he's
Dr.
smoking
Fate is
for sure.
washing Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
Are you
that's a
kidding
fact.
me?
Yeah, I would say Dr. Fate.
But you don't pair gods with peasants. I'm just joking. But I'm a Doctor Strange fan, even in the comic days.
I mean,
so.
also, Doctor Strange in the MCU is a dumbass, so there's that. I don't.
Yeah. With his jet black goatee.
Now, what about Adam Warlock? I mean, I don't know, man.
He's supposed to be in Guardians 3. They casted.
Is he?
Yeah, they casted a kid. For
the weirdest cast ever. I'm like, yo.
Yeah, it's a bit strange.
Who is it? Who is it?
It's the
Have you seen
It's from dude from Iron Fist. No, I'm playing.
Shameless.
Yeah, I seen Shameless. Yeah.
It's the redheaded brother.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Wait, no. Adam Warlock. I thought Adam Warlock was the guy from Breaking Bad. Hold up.
Breaking Bad.
Let me double check it. Yeah.
So Jesse?
Yes,
Oh,
Jesse.
No,
not Jesse. No. It's
What's up?
Oh, never mind. It's someone different. It is, but it's not the guy.
Oh,
from,
wait, no, sorry,
Shameless. It's Will
wait, hold on.
Poulter. Poulter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever see Detroit? The movie Detroit?
I don't think so.
He was in that.
Will is probably most famous for We're the Millers.
Yeah.
And
He was
Chronicles
also
of
in-
Narnia.
Wasn't he in what the fuck is that movie?
The
Maze Runner? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
What?
Oh, you mean from Teen Wolf? That dude?
No.
No,
That's Dylan O'Brien.
Oh, I didn't Google his name yet.
He would have made a good
I'm gonna
Nightwing.
put his IMDb in the private chat.
Yeah, do it so I can go click on it.
You've definitely seen him before. He's been in a ton of stuff, but
He doesn't really look like Adam
Yeah.
Warlock.
He
so-
doesn't
he
look
got-
like Adam
he's-
Warlock at all.
He got super buff for the role. So if you see pictures of him now,
I think his face is
kinda
too
looks like him.
defined.
I think
No,
they
no,
dyed
no.
his hair.
Yeah, I don't think he screams Adam Warlock to me at all.
I can't see him like the way Adam Warlock. His
You know what he looks like? He looks like an
personality is.
archangel, maybe an X-Men, but not
Oh, that'd be
or
cool.
Iceman.
Yeah, I
But
can see him.
Iceman
Yeah, I can
would
see
be
him
good.
playing. I can see him playing that role. Yeah.
mhm.
Maybe his acting was so damn good, they were just like, we're just gonna cast him.
Yeah.
He is a good actor. I just
He
think
is.
he's never
Okay.
done this kind of role before, so it would be kind of weird to see him do it. But I wouldn't like knock him for it. I wouldn't go against him.
That Doctor Strange, the whole, it's the evil version of him from the cartoon is pretty neat.
The
I
What
like
If?
that they're doing. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Although at
Maybe-
the end of that, wasn't he?
He's
kinda
trapped.
Good. He's
Well,
trapped. He's trapped with Killmonger in
Yeah.
like that. No. He has them. He has
He's trapped in his own dimension.
The Ultron
pocket or
that
something.
won and Killmonger trapped in like some kind of
dimension pocket.
spell.
All right, so
pocket
potential
thing.
spoilers
Yeah.
for Doctor Strange. But I heard that Wanda was going to be the villain ultimately.
That'd be cool.
Watch the. Oh well.
I did watch it.
Oh, so
But I
she still might be
yeah,
a villain?
Yeah, I heard it was a misdirect, or they're going to start off the film with him asking for her for help, and then apparently she's going to realize like, oh, my sons are alive in other dimension. Actually, let me go and get my kids back or whatever.
I hope they don't make her a cool character that gets annoying. I really hope not.
I don't think that'll be the case. Plus, she already has it in her to be the villain, man. What she did was fucked up.
It was.
Yeah, she's a. Yeah, I can't stand Wanda, yo. I
I'm just an X-Men fanboy, so when I see all these King Scarlet Witch,
man,
get out.
Yeah, when WandaVision was happening, I thought it was going to be fully House of M. I thought it was just going to be
me fucking too, buddy. Me fucking too. But you know what? What we got was Ralph Boner. So I don't know who was it. Everborn trying to argue with me about you guys set yourself up, man. Shut the fuck up.
No,
Ninja with that shit.
They set us up. And with I can't remember her name, but the black woman that is she's all like, I'm gonna call my buddy, my friend, like she almost looked at the camera when she said it, my buddy. I'm like, yes, it's Reed Richards. She's gonna call someone for some science stuff to help her get back into the bubble. No,
that would have been
didn't even show who she called. They just delivered a vehicle that did nothing.
I mean, like I said, the biggest thing for me was the Mephisto thing. That fucking giant ass, black ass, nasty ass fly crawling across the screen. I was like, Mephisto?
I thought
hello,
so too.
Is that you? And then they were like,
Lord and Savior?
No,
I thought they were gonna do some multiverse stuff. I didn't know they were gonna we'll wait till Loki.
But it was perfect for that because she was out of control. She didn't know what she was doing. If she would have accidentally pulled like the X-Men into the MCU universe, that would have made perfect sense because she didn't have full control of her powers, but whatever.
No, it's not the Fox. I don't think it'll be. Also, not only that, hold on. I do also want to say, regardless of whatever people say about like, oh, you guys set yourself up, that show ruined my interest in the rest of these Disney shows. Like, I haven't watched any of them. I didn't watch Falcon and Winter Soldier. I didn't watch Loki. I didn't watch Hawkeye because of WandaVision. I was like, I'm not watching this shit. Like,
and then I told Luca about that loan. She was like, oh, I'm definitely not watching it now.
Black man can't get a loan because you're black.
The first episode, and then and him all trying to like, it's me, Falcon. What's up?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised they didn't make him start
and let all the Avengers be broke, even though he died as a billionaire.
I thought Tony Stark paid them. I think that's just a comics thing, but
I'm just surprised they didn't have him rapping, asking for the loan. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you think I can get this loan? I'll fly out of here, go all the way back home. You know,
you guys watched that, right?
What?
Falcon? No, I know you did.
I didn't.
But like,
I watched it.
It was fine. It was okay.
It was cool. They introduced Elijah Bradley. This goes back to Young Avengers.
That was
Elijah
the
Bradley.
Thing.
Yeah, he's taking care of his grandfather, who's the original Captain America, and he's really there. Cool. So like because his grandfather actually has the same, a earlier version of the same serum that Steve Rogers had. Elijah has kind of like that, like Latin ability there. So he's going to eventually be reintroduced as Patriot at some point.
That'd be cool. Luca, if you watch one, Loki is really the only one that you need to watch, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I think my friend told me that Loki was the one I should check out. So I will consider it. But yeah, I guess I think that's all I have to say. Anything else, boys?
No, I'm good.
No, we're good.
Yeah, just waiting on the Batman.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Real quick, I did think it was funny that people are like, no one wants to see 3 Supermen because no one cares about this.
Yeah, that was lame.
Say whatever you will, because currently Marvel is more popular than DC when it comes to the movies. Yeah. But people will come out to see 3 Supermen.
I would pay.
I would pay
money.
You understand? This is Superman, bro. That's like talking
Superman.
about bro.
Like, come on.
Man.
That's right.
So,
put some respect on his name, bro. That's
I said, I would, and people were like, "Who the fuck?" First of all, that Crisis on Infinite Earth Superman. There was a moment, a brief moment where There was a brief moment where I was like, damn, why can't he be the fucking Superman? And why does it got to be Tyler Hoechlin?
No, I don't know about that. I mean,
No,
I would love to get
like
Brandon
I said,
Ruth
I
a
haven't
shot
seen
again.
Superman and Lois, so I hear that like redeems him. But I wasn't really a big fan of them making Superman weaker than Supergirl just to make her look better. I was not a fan of that. So you know, also he's very small. You know,
he needs to bulk up a bit, especially in comparison to the other two.
Crazy, because Tyler Hoechlin, because he was in Teen Wolf and he was like the biggest one on there, but the other dudes on there are very frail. So
oh man, Brandon Ruth.
You know,
one day.
Brandon Ralph, he was great. So anyway, listen, we'll just. I'm excited for Batman as well, and we'll see what happens there.
Let's go.
Day one.
Yeah, that'll be a day one, obviously, for me. Obviously. Okay, so I guess that'll end it. Go ahead and do your outro slow mo.
Yo, great show, yo. I really enjoyed discussing all this stuff, and you don't get into our little nerd bag, so to speak, for a little while. Come check me out on my YouTube channel as well as my Twitch channel by the same name, Slowboy Backslap. And I hope you guys have a great holiday, man.
All right, all day.
Hey, good show, good conversation. It's always a pleasure. Catch you guys next year and have a great holiday.
All right, Connor.
Yep. Soapbox Games on Twitter and YouTube. Do weekly uploads. Come check me out if you like how we were talking to each other on this podcast. You guys know I always love coming on. So thanks for having me, and I hope you guys all have good holidays.
All right. Also, Connor and I are going to do a space.
Oh yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, we haven't decided on a time. You want to do around what's good for you, like the afternoon or
the afternoon, preferably.
All right. I'll send you a DM about it. Probably around 2 or 3.
Yeah, we're gonna do a space on The Witcher because I finished season 2 yesterday. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Okay. Anyway, you guys have a nice night. It was so nice seeing you guys. Thank you so much for coming through. Shout out to all the guys in the chat. Shout out to all the super chat support. Appreciate you guys. Shout out to the channel member support. You guys were amazing. Okay, got nothing but love for you guys. I will catch y'all for another show. No Scumcast this weekend because Saturday is Christmas. And can you imagine me trying to get you guys?
We're not losers.
Can you imagine me trying to get you guys to come and do a podcast on Christmas? Like, I just can't even fathom it, honestly speaking.
I guarantee there'll be a Twitter space.
I'm sure. I'm sure there will be. Yeah.
What you gonna do? Hold up your presents to the fucking mic and let me.
Can you imagine? Oh man, that would be great. But yeah. Anyway, let's see podcast. Okay, bye guys. See you later. Oh, and then shout out to Frank for the super chat. Last super chat. Thank you so much. Saying happy holidays. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. You guys have a good one. Peace. Better not be the Matrix. I'm not.